Hello boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this is DeFub21 and this is yet another video, another trailer reaction video to a trailer for a game that is very, very close to my heart, Company of Heroes 2. The developer Relic and the publisher Sega, as Relic was formerly owned by THQ when they went bust. Sega bought them up. Have announced a new expansion pack for Company of Heroes 2. It's called British Forces, so it's bringing in a British faction into the game. That means that now brings the number of playable factions to 4 in total. You've got the Russians, the Americans on the Allied side up until now, and the Wehrmacht and the Oberkommando West on the other. This will add an additional faction. I assume it's getting an allied faction, so it'll be 3 separate allied factions via Oberkommando West and Wehrmacht, assuming they don't add a new German faction as well. We'll find out from the trailer. So hopefully this'll be good, and we'll look at this and I'll give you my reaction or my views afterwards. Toodaloo.
Peggy 18.
Fight on the beaches, we shall fight on the landing grounds, we shall fight in the fields and in the streets, we shall fight in the hills, we shall never surrender.
Greetings, men of the combined British forces. Field Marshal Montgomery here. To us is given the honor of striking a blow for freedom, which will live in history. We will stand and fight here. If we can't stay here alive, then let us stay here dead.
Take cover! Boys are coming on! Take cover! Enemy boys are coming away! Quick as you can now!
With stout hearts and with enthusiasm for the contest, let us go forward to victory.
Moving into Jerry territory.
My business, as you know, is fighting. Fighting the Germans. Oh, and anybody else too who wants to have a fight. Good luck to each one of you. And good hunting on the mainland of Europe.
Well, just in case you forgot, this is DeFub21, and they appear to be offering a 20% discount, it appears, for pre-ordering the game if you happen to own a previous, I assume to be previous Company Heroes 2 product, which is a nice gesture on their part. It should be noted that the previous expansion pack that gave you new playable factions and multiplayer, which was the Western Front armies, gave you 2, the Americans and the Oberkommando West. This one seems to be about the Brits, so that might be a reason why it'll be, even without a discount, it'll be cheaper. It looks like €12 or something along those lines from in my neck of the woods, with 20% off that, I assume. The previous expansion was like 19-20 quid when it came out. This was the Western Armies pack, and I waited till it was discounted quite considerably. Got it for about €6 in a sale, as I did with the Ardennes single player expansion, which I haven't finished yet. I must go back to playing that. But as far as that's a nice thing to have, that little discount, and it'll encourage pre-orders, and I may well bite the bullet and do that myself. What I will say, however, and this is a kind of key thing, is that the trailer itself is kind of, particularly if you're kind of familiar with the Brits at all, you know, as anyone who's lives here in my neck of the woods. We're right next door to them would be. It's very kind of stereotypical. British World War II, finest hour, Churchill. That speech, by the way, he did actually make that speech during the war, but it wasn't actually recorded on audio until after the war, just as an interesting historical side note, although it's something the Brits and everyone else seems to forget. But that recording of Churchill was actually made after the war. I think he made that speech in the Commons and was reported in the press at the time, but there was no audio recording of it until after the war. It's, again, very stereotypical, finest hour, Churchill, and so on. The thing is, this isn't a trailer to a brand new game with a brand new engine that's not out for like 6 to 8 months or a year. This isn't a trailer for a single player expansion to a game that at this stage, I off the top of my head, I can't exactly remember. It's 2 or 3 years old, Company Heroes 2 at this stage. And considering that this expansion is literally only a couple of months away, the fact that there was no actual gameplay footage in the trailer is a bit of a downer as far as I'm concerned. It certainly doesn't impress. Let me think about this. Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't impress at all. And I think the trailer would have been much more interesting and much more attention grabbing if it did have in-game footage of the new faction, but it doesn't. And the rest of the trailer is just stereotypical British World War II tropes that have been around for an eternity in a day. And if this was like, say, an American or even a continental European or, even a Japanese studio. I don't know if a Japanese studio has ever done a World War II game. That'd be interesting. If anyone knows whether a studio, if there is any Japanese-made World War II games out there, please let me know in the comments. But this is Relic's located in the UK. Logically, one would think they would know better than this. But the trailer has no gameplay footage, no in-game footage, and it is frankly just one giant stereotype from beginning to end of the Brits and the various tropes, finest hour, Churchill, and all the rest. Nothing particularly unique or interesting about that, and with no actual gameplay footage. It doesn't really rouse my interest. I may well pre-order, but then again, I might only have to wait till the Steam sale at Christmas to be able to get this for like £5 or £6. So I might put it off, just the way I did with the Western Front armies. They were about €20. That expansion. It came with 2 armies though, the Americans and the Oberkommando West. But I waited till Steam. I think it was a Steam Christmas sale. And got it for, I think it was €6 and a bit, so I may well do the same and wait till Christmas this year, because we'll give it a few months. It's an expansion pack. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not on sale come Christmas, but you can never be quite sure. So I'll think about it. It may well be that this whole 20% discount is really kind of for anyone who owns any existing Company Heroes 2 stuff. May well be primarily about kind of encouraging people who've already own Company Heroes, either it's the original game itself or one of its expansions, to go out and buy it and not wait for that Steam sale that second half of the year, particularly once the summer is over, everyone knows is coming. But right now, the trailers, it's okay, but it's nothing to write home about. No gameplay footage, and the rest of it's just one giant, British during World War II, stiff upper lip, we'll fight them on the beaches and so on. Stereotype that's been, frankly, at this point in time, it's been done to death, quite frankly. Anyway, this is Defub 21, and if you liked this video, please go to my channel and have a look at some other videos, and if you like those, please subscribe. I haven't got a pop blocker yet. I apologize if for those who find that particularly irksome. I'm going to get around to getting one, hopefully relatively soon. Anyway, this is Defub21 signing off. Toodaloo.